All right. Whoa!
Jesus Christ, no.
Huh?
No.
Restart?
No. That was
I was really close to
way too loud.
Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Common Ground Podcast. You're back your favorite my Pauper, episode 83. I'm your co-host, Cameron Schindler, joined as always by... I had so many nicknames for you.
You did.
Lined up, and you know what's crazy? I don't remember a single one.
It's convenient for me.
Thomas Nickel Eater Gun. What's happening?
Well, I can't recall eating a nickel, but but
Also
I'm
joined
fine.
by...
Where is this coming from?
Also joined by James Hippo Hieronymus. How are you doing?
James Hippo underrated Hieronymus.
Underrated?
Whoa, what is this nonsense?
Don't worry about it.
Properly
Continue.
rated Hieronymus.
I'm properly rated?
Yeah, I watched you play some cube games last night, and you just like rip like crazy good.
Oh my!
Like
every draw step was I am the best at this game that has ever existed.
His opponent, we know his opponent's on Tinker. We know his opponent's on Tinker. They tap out to play Dak Fade and steal
my crypt.
Yep, his tapped mana crypt.
Ooh,
Hippo
yeah.
top decks with
Him to Turok.
and he just draws him to Turok, casts it, and hits his opponent's Tinker.
And then they have like some card in their hand that does nothing.
And they're at like 7.
And they take damage from the
Yeah.
mana crypt.
Yeah, they just killed themselves by having the mana crypt in play. It's like, yeah,
So,
get
like,
wrecked,
if they
idiot.
would have just like took one of his clues he had instead, would have been like, way better.
They also weren't expecting me to aim them.
Yeah.
They were expecting to get rid of that mana crypt. Is what the thing was.
Yeah.
Wild.
It was so funny.
That was
I got so lucky like a million times.
that was some
Clean
tomfoolery.
306 though.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I think we're just gonna do some Paupergeddon stuff today.
Yeah, we're gonna chat about Paupergeddon. Kind of snuck up on us as it has once or twice, but this is the 10th anniversary summer Paupergeddon. So we're gonna mostly go through this. We're gonna include Decklist links from Indie and from Popping Out for Charity in the description if y'all want to go through them. Since Paupergeddon kind of snuck up on us, we're gonna have a little bit more focus on that today. But again, we want to say thank you to everyone who came out to Indie, everyone who enjoyed the car pod for its in all of its glory, and appreciate y'all. Yeah, and in Discord, appreciate y'all for hanging out and being good sports.
Disglory.
It's what?
No, you said in all of its glory, and I said in all of its disglory, and you said in all of it and the Discord.
And the Discord. Okay.
I know. I was just making sure.
It's okay. I'm just full of popcorn, and I can't wait till I'm full of.
That could be his excuse
Nickels,
for everything. It'll be Friday, and he'll be like, "I'm so full of popcorn."
And those nickels he ate. You saw that, Hippo, right?
I don't know what you're
trying
talking
to convince me of things that I have a perfect recollection.
Oh, I'm not trying to convince you. I'm trying to convince the audience.
Oh, okay. Sure,
Don't get gaslit, audience. Cameron's a professional.
This is true.
He is. But anyway, no, we're going to talk about Paupergeddon. We'll also probably talk a little bit about the Common Ground Cup. It's coming up August 2nd. Everything is live and legal for you to go click on and order your tickets today. It's at Game Night in Columbia, Tennessee, 11 o'clock on Saturday, the 2nd of August. So it's coming right up. If you are interested in coming in from out of town, we have a special discounted hotel block rate. Thanks to friend of the show, Joe, for putting that together for us. It's at the Courtyard in Brentwood. It's a little closer to Nashville than the tournament in Columbia, so take that into account for your planning. But it's a really great rate of $69 a night. Nice. And it's good for any of the 3 nights between the 1st and the 4th. And so if you want to come down, hang out, maybe make a Nashville trip out of it with you and some friends, we could put up a list of recommendations, good places to eat, good places to check out, have some fun too, make a whole thing of it. But either way, if you're coming down for the event and you want to stay somewhere cheap while you're here in town, it's a nice hotel. I believe Cameron is very intimate with it from a cleaning perspective.
Yeah, I've cleaned it before.
Yeah, hell yeah. Nice place. Joe's good people. So huge thank you to him for setting that up. I think that's all I have.
There's coverage of it too.
And there's live coverage. If you can't make it at all, we're going to be doing coverage.
Us? We are?
Yeah.
Crazy.
We are.
It's good incentive to come too and come show what you got on coverage.
Yeah.
Come pyroblast some writhing chrysalises on coverage.
Yeah, show us what you got.
Pyroblasting? That's even more bold.
Yeah, that is.
That's even more bold than hydroblasting.
Yeah, 'em. Yeah, it is. Oh, geez, oh golly.
Paupergeddon.
Yeah, I heard it happened. I caught a little bit of coverage. Did you guys watch a bunch of the coverage?
0.
I did not. I watched about 3
Came
minutes
ready
of
to
it
talk.
before I was about to go do something. I was watching the match where Gavin was on camera.
Yeah,
That's about it.
Yeah, I caught the finals.
Ooh, that's fun. What round was
was-
that? Do you know?
Like round one.
What was he
I
playing?
think
What was Gavin playing?
he's playing familiars.
Huh. Yeah, that's very interesting.
Yeah, blue white familiars.
Well, who covered it? You know,
It was a combination of some of the regular casters.
Was Kablinski back on it? You know.
I don't know if Krabinsky was on it, like subcast on it again or not, but Emma Partlow was on actual coverage in the building. Will Hall was on coverage.
Oh,
a couple of the
sick.
other
Yeah,
Pauper
check that
regulars
out.
from the area who have been on coverage before were covering everything.
Okay, sick.
And the finals, Gavin came into the booth for the finals as well. So
Oh,
it was,
that's
it was
sick.
Will, Gavin, and Emma.
That's
doing
really
the
cool.
finals.
That's good.
That's
Yeah.
fun. Yeah, busy weekend.
Yes,
was
we
a
had
busy
we had a
weekend.
Lots of partying.
Lots
so
of
to
darting.
speak.
Yeah, for my birthday.
Yes.
Not for.
Yeah.
Yeah, never mind.
Indeed.
I had to explain to
Happy
my
birthday,
coworkers
Cameron.
what
Thank you.
a darty was today,
Yeah, that happens.
and they just all looked at me like I had 2 heads.
Yeah.
They're
Um,
like, you sit in a circle and do, and okay.
Yeah, for the audience, you sit in a circle and you throw darts at beer cans and you drink until it stops leaking, and there's just a fun way to day drink.
So they had about 1,100 players at Paupergeddon this time around.
That's insanity.
That's insane.
Yeah,
that's
that's huge.
amazing. Congratulations to
and it-
everyone.
I was just mentioning before we started recording, it's like that's bigger than like American or
Yeah, like big
GPs.
American events these days. Yeah, it's
That's-
on
that's
par
a
with our regional
very-
championships.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
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 What was the last Spotlight series in America? Was
Last Spotlight, it was a little low in Indy. It was like somewhere
It
between
was-
700 and 800.
that? Yeah.
So, I
Atlanta
mean-
had a really good showing.
Yeah,
that first
Atlanta
one
was
back.
closer to
I
like
was gonna say
13,
Denver.
1400.
Denver was.
like 1,500 or something
I don't
like
think it was
that.
that many.
Oh, for the sealed one
Yeah,
most
I was like,
recently.
there's
It was
not
a little
many.
over 1,000, I think.
Was it?
I think so. Yeah.
So
Okay.
right on par with a big American event. That's awesome.
That's
So,
impressive.
Yeah. And, especially for this little format.
I know.
Helps when you're when the railway systems work.
Yeah. Common Ground Cup. Trying to cap it at 1,100. So let's beat this.
Yeah, there we go. There we go.
I think we can facilitate that.
Do we just want to dive right into a top 16? How do we want to do this?
I can read off the top 16 if we'd like, and then we can go from there. I will say from the info that we're getting as the tournament was getting kicked off, out of almost 1,100 players, 15% of the room was Jund Wildfires, which
At the beginning of the day?
Yeah.
at the beginning of
Wow.
the tournament at day one, like 15% of the room, over 100 copies of the deck were present.
That
It was
does not
the
surprise
biggest single share. And then beyond that, if you lump all the red decks together, they're kind of like the next. They actually are technically more if you include Red Black Madness in with the bunch. But if you do just the mono red, they are close to that together. If you do the mono red synthesizer builds and the mono red madness builds as well.
Where can one find that information at?
A pie chart I saw on Twitter
Same.
days ago.
Perfect. I love it.
You're welcome.
Probably a Krablinsky thing.
Yeah, that sounds like something
Take a
Kablinski would
guess.
do. But anyway, are you dive right in?
Yeah, I'll read off this top 16 here. Let me grab a.
Yeah, you like just glancing through it. There's oh my god,
My legs are dying.
just glancing at it though, there is a noticeable lack of Jund Wildfires.
It's
Just
true.
probably the most.
There is one copy in top 16 here. So
That honestly is not super surprising.
no, from what I understand, the vibe of the tournament was they all just kind of started cannibalizing each other, which
Yep.
is generally what will happen when a deck like this is. It's probably a deck where the majority of that 15% of players probably did better earlier than later as they prey on just like all of the wide variety of the format, and then as it kind of like narrows down on a more of a like winners metagame, what is
more
doing
linear.
well? Yeah, what's doing well in the tournament? Then one or two Wildfires players start to fade off. We saw that in Indy, in which by like round 3 or 4, a good 4 to 6 people on Jund Wildfires were like pretty consistently within the top few tables of the tournament in Indy. But by the time we got to the final round, Scintillus ended up being the only Jund Wildfire player to make top 8 because they just kind of spread off from there. You run into a different pairing, or you run into each other and take a draw.
Kinda
or,
how it broke down there too was like he had a win in it against a Jund Wildfires player in the previous round. He drew,
Right.
unintentionally for Joan Wildfire's player. So
Right.
kind of just how the cookie crumble.
It's true. It's true. So I'll read off this top 16. Apologies to anyone in Italy or otherwise if I happen to pronounce your name incorrectly.
You got this.
In 16th place, Francesco Giuliano playing Familiars. In 15th, Igor Grecia also playing Familiars. In 14th place, Tomas Hinduliak playing Mono Blue Terror. In 13th place, Eduardo Bardi on High Tide. In 12th place, Filip Skornicki, a.k.a. Skura, alum of the pod, with Mono Blue Fairies.
Another killer run.
Absolutely killer.
Just killing it, as always.
In 11th place, Bernardo Torres on Blue Red Control, a.k.a. Is It Terror. In 10th place, Cristiano Chiaki on the aforementioned John Wildfire's deck. In 9th place, Natalino Feshti. I believe this is the Natalino who originated the Mono Red Dredge deck. In 9th place, probably just missing on breakers with Mono Red Dredge, their baby deck. Congratulations to them. That's very impressive showing. And then our top 8. In 8th place, Jose Vidal Ross on Mardu Synthesizer, which I'm sure we'll take a look at here. In 7th place, Francesco Zibella on Gruul Monsters. In 6th place, Tommaso Punis, also on Gruul Monsters. I want to say Gavin called out this stat going into the finals that there were only 3 red-green ramp and or Panza players, I believe, that made it into the cut for day 2. And these are 2 of them in the top 8.
That's impressive.
Which is very impressive.
That'll make your deck look like it has a nuts win rate when
right.
You know.
In 5th place, Riccardo Sistari on Mono Blue Terror. In 4th place, Francesco Foschi on Altertron. In 3rd place, Frenek Komsta playing Mono Red Rally. Mono Red Synthesizer with the Bushwhackers, Burning Tree Emissaries, and Rally at the Hornbergs. Which is another way you can take the red deck, which I think is also very cool. In 2nd place, Francesco Fiorenzoni on Mono Blue Terror. A very good showing for Mono Blue Terror all around. And in 1st place, Pietro Karoki, our champion, playing Blue-White Cawgates.
Man. Blast from the past. This whole top 8 is just
wild, actually.
A snapshot from like a year and a half ago. It's meta, really.
Yep,
like
pretty close.
I mean, kind of
just with no
deck names.
All that glitters.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah,
deck names alone looks like pre MH3.
Yeah.
Like obviously,
or very fresh MH3.
Yeah.
Before Brood Scale got figured out and all of that.
Yeah, this looks like the Paupergeddon
Chrysalis,
immediately following that tournament or
Yeah.
that set release.
Yeah.
So you're about a year ago.
Just look at like their first place deck list too. They have 4 Journey to Nowheres, and that's probably just to call out, like, stopping the Writhing Chrysalises from blocking your Squadron Hawks or just making a bunch of stuff, like, because the spawns can be pretty tricky if they block a Sacred Cat that you really need a life swing on, and they can block it and sack it and you gain no life. So his Journey to Nowheres can really help get rid of those Writhing Chrysalises, but they don't really help get rid of the spawns, like I said, do they?
No.
Well,
Not so much.
I mean, it's okay. You still have like flyers in your deck to like get over some of those. So
if you still need to, the 4 Squadron Hawks. Like
you have Squadron Hawks in modern ages. So
Prismatic Strands, I feel like it's been a minute since like we've had like that show up. I guess like the resurgent of Mono White too, so it's not necessarily true, but
I think the card is pretty well positioned.
So the card has been coming back quite a bit, which is kind of funny with Joan Wildfire's being how popular it is. But is it just like good enough against the rest of the meta? Good enough against especially Mono Blue Terror?
I mean, it's still pretty good against Gen Wildfire. You can get a cheeky block against Refurbished Familiar. You can protect against Karkland Shaman stuff.
Oh yeah,
that's my biggest one. Is the protection against Karkland Shaman.
Yeah, that does make sense. Yeah,
because a lot of them got to the point where they just cut the toxin analysis from their deck. Or some of them do. Some just completely cut the toxin package. They just play the Karkland Shaman, and it really helps there. So
yeah, that makes sense. But it can be tricky because it doesn't kill the Karkland Shaman. Like, it's around to do again.
That's fine.
Yeah, and
I think if they just commit enough resources to it, then they just like are down so many cards and you're like not down any cards at all. So
and your deck's already not super like susceptible to Karkland Shaman. You're playing 4 Squadron Hawks, 4 Modern Ages, and then you're sure. Kirkland
Yeah,
Shaman.
if you want, if you want, if you want to Kirkland Shaman some Sacred Cats and some Outlaw Medics, go for it.
Yeah,
you feel very up in that exchange.
I'll draw a card.
Yeah, exactly. It's like you're drawing a card essentially either way.
Yeah. So turns out brainstorms are still good. So
who knew?
Big congrats there. That's really cool.
Between Coggates and Terra doing really well. Turns out Brainstorm still very powerful.
They had the 2 standard bearers just in case they're afraid of Naya Gates. They could bring it in like the pseudo mirror.
Yeah,
they had it there. I know it. I know that's what that was for.
They also have a pile of red blasts as well. They have a full play set of red blasts. And if you're looking at the list and you don't see any red lands, that's because a bunch of these gates, you can just name red as the secondary color that they tap for. So it's a really easy way to splash random colors in your gates decks.
Mm-hmm.
And I think having a pile of red blasts was a really good call, given how popular Terra has been. If you're worried about High Tide, it just has a lot of utility.
So this actually really this deck, particularly winning the event, really leans into my thought that the format is just incredibly healthy.
Mm-hmm.
If this is the fairest thing that you could possibly be doing, like bar none. Disagreement? It's just really, really fair.
Yeah. Oh,
okay.
Yeah, big time.
Yeah. Okay. I was like, when the super, super, super fair deck like this wins the tournament, then that's good news.
The Gates package is very powerful.
Oh, it is very good.
Yeah, agreed.
Nobody's disagreeing with that one.
It could just be like a little. You can feel like you can get outclassed real quick. Like John Wildfires, I feel like very much has the capability of keeping up with this deck.
Oh, I'm
I feel
sure it
like
does.
You can get buried under there because you're a little slow.
They also, again, this deck also has its ton of it just an innate card advantage with like Squadron Hawks and stuff like that.
Yeah,
so.
yeah, but but you do have like the counter spells, which is nice against combo if you need it. But and we always talked about like the push and pull between like Coggates and Mono Red, and like how that's always been like a classic.
Oh, it's
part
just
of
a
the format.
slam dunk.
Yeah,
for the Coggates player.
Yeah, but I feel like it's not unlosable.
Oh, it's not it's not
unwinnable or
unwinnable from the red side, but it is pretty hard.
Yeah. Anything special about this mono blue terror list? Is this just like pretty bog standard by now? Like we have the 12 creatures.
Yeah, this is literally Discovern's list. This is just copy paste Discovern's list.
Bring it to let's go.
Turns out Discovern cracked it. This is where we're at. The player who took the official first place in Indy, our event, dropped the 8th blast for the 4th gut shot and felt very good about that choice. So you can just kind of adjust a little as you needed. Like I put in a couple Murmuring Mystics that I never ended up seeing them, really didn't know how they would have felt, but this seems to be
you saw them. You milled them over, but you saw them.
I did. You're right. I did. Yeah, that did happen a few times. This
mono red list is pretty sick.
I like this deck.
I do like the inclusion of the burning tree emissaries. That into a goblin bushwhacker is pretty cool.
There's 2 ginger broods.
Well, it's really hard to bushwhacker into a bushwhacker because it makes red green, not red red.
Oh yeah, fair enough.
But it does do the rally thing. That is good.
Yeah.
Yes,
yeah,
it does.
That is
rally
very strong.
really well.
Because it turns out the burning tree emissary is a human.
It is,
and it gives your humans haste.
It does.
Oh, that's pretty funny.
That is really good.
Cool. That is a really cool.
So you just
play
go like burning tree, rally, dome you for 1,000,000.
Yeah.
And this deck still has the card advantage in 4 reckless impulses and 4 experimental synthesizers. No way to sack your synthesizers besides its own ability, if I'm looking at that correctly. And we have 0 copies of Fire Blast too.
Yeah.
So,
yep.
Which makes sense because you don't really want to be hitting that off your synths or your reckless impulse. That's why we usually only see it as a 1 of. Really clean list. I don't have too much to say about it. The ginger brutes are really cute.
They are cute. I'm trying to think about anything in particular that they do.
Gives you a leg up in the mirror, actually. You have like an extra, like if you need it, it gives you an extra like turn or a spell of theirs.
For the food text.
The food text on it.
So
Yeah, I think that's probably a really good reason for it.
I think more so if just the board gets gummed up.
It does make it unblockable. Yeah, I think, but I think say having that like a card that is aggressive but is also good in a mirror scenario is huge.
Turns on your galvanic blast, which isn't nothing either.
Yeah, it's definitely another artifact for that count. I worry about it not having enough punch.
It's probably fine. Clearly, it worked out well for them.
Yeah.
For real. Sideboard, we see a handful of Pyroblast effects, so 6 of those. For in the festivities, we keep seeing those still, like just in case you run into like Masuda Mirror, like any other mono red decks. Good against Fae there too. Smash Smithereens, a Flaring Pain for those nasty fog players. One Relic Progenitus, which I think is hilarious.
Yeah, just one.
It's
Yeah,
just
just
That's all you need. You just need to hit the one.
This will save me against the deck, you know. And
I
then,
mean, between that and the one Ren's resolve,
It's like the
that last
cheeky
card,
Ren's
just
resolve
like-
is
well, that's what
interesting.
helps you find it in the
right, of course.
and against the graveyard decks. But cool list. That list looks really fun.
Yeah.
I like the red decks that have the reach with it, but you still feel like you're this really like fast play all my creatures and Goblin Bushwhack you deck. I feel like a really good deck if you want to high roll into playing your Goblin Bushwhackers, which is kind of how I felt about the deck before.
Yeah, that deck can just turn 2 people. It has the potential to turn 2 or turn 3 people.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha.
Yeah, the other...
Yeah, you just do like I guess I just do like burning tree, rally, dome for 8, bushwhacker. That's just beyond lethal. It's disgusting.
The other Terror deck in top 8 here...
Perfect 7 because 2 lands, burning tree, burning. Yeah, perfect 7. Sorry.
No, you're good. The other Terror deck in top 8 has made the adjustment that I mentioned in the sideboard with the 4th Gutshot over the 8th Blast. But they also have made some adjustments in the main. They've added 2 more Dispels for a full play set of spell and a 3rd Sleep of the Dead, and they have cut all 3 Demon Inferiors. So they're just not messing around with Demon Inferior at all and just up in Sleep
Or
of the Dead
boomerangs
count.
or anything.
Yeah. No, well, I mean, the lists that play Demon Inferior are not also running Boomerang.
Yep, that's
but-
what I'm saying. They're not playing
Yeah,
either.
no, they're not playing anything that bounces. And I kind of like it because Sleep of the Dead has proved to be very powerful and very helpful for swinging the race back in your favor and things like that. So if you... And a lot of the times when I was casting Demon Inferior, it was really hard for it to cost less than 3 mana. It really wasn't often that it was doing that for me. Like there were turns where I was like brainstorm in this turn and then I get it off for 1 mana randomly.
Yeah.
And like I get that there are definitely games where you get down the line where you're like draw for turn, mental note, thought scour, okay, now it's 1 mana, but like that was never happening for me. Again,
Really?
Very small sample size, but like I cast it for 2 less than I cast it for 1, which was way less than I ever cast it for 3. So I kind of don't mind an extra Sleep of the Dead.
that makes sense. I like it because you're just focusing more on the aggressive part of the game where
Right.
I got my Terror or Terror Delver, sleep your flyer,
Because this really is like an aggro tempo deck. This wants to, it can go long, but it really wants to slam the door very quickly.
the quintessential Protect the Queen style deck.
Yeah.
in our format.
It's the Delver deck of the format.
It's true.
Yeah, it's kind of fun. I wouldn't call it mono blue. No, I wouldn't call it mono blue Delver.
I would.
It's a Delver deck.
It is a Delver deck first,
Yeah.
and then it is a Terror
You
deck.
play 8 style Terror effects, though. You play 8 snaky snakes.
Well, sure,
You
but
only have 1 Delver.
it's still
If you had 4 more Delvers, you'd play 4 more
Yeah,
Delvers.
yeah,
Oh,
we
yeah.
would.
You don't have them.
Yeah.
So.
I don't play this what if game. I don't care if you would have drew two more lands.
Vacuums
so
aren't
it's
real.
Delver.
Vacuums don't
Delver deck.
exist.
I don't care if you would have drew 2 more lands.
It's a Delver deck. I thought you don't care about
Vacuums
labels,
don't
Cameron.
exist.
Who said that?
You did.
When?
When talking about your cube. Labels are constructs that are
Yeah, for cube.
Cole, this is Magic the Gathering cards.
Yeah.
It's all relevant.
It's all so relevant. In context, Hippo, in context. This
If
mono
anyone
black,
could just see how I just shook my head.
this mono black green, this green black
Mono black green.
Altertron deck.
Uh-huh.
4 Pact Altairs. And is that normal with? Yeah.
Outside of that, it looks pretty normal.
I think that's like the normal of this deck now. I don't know too much about this deck. I know Kalikai's was a big proponent like post Pact Altair playing this deck.
Actually, one thing that has changed with this deck a little bit is that they have kind of dropped the Ancient Stirrings and moved over to like Expedition Map instead.
Yeah, and Malevolent Rumbles because that finds.
I'm sorry, I mean Expedition. I meant Rumble.
Oh, okay.
That's the green cantrip card has changed.
That makes sense because that finds you your Pact Altairs where Ancient Stirrings is not because it's colorless. Great.
Yeah, it is a colorless card. It's like the one card in your deck you can't grab.
That makes sense. I like the one of Fangreen Marauder in the sideboard, just in case you want to turn into that Bobble Tron deck. Just
Oh,
never
yeah.
one of.
Oh,
I
It does it, and it'll do it well.
I feel like that wouldn't be a terrible game plan for Fog either. Just like slide into 2 Fangry Marauders and
It'd
just
probably be pretty good.
Yeah.
go crazy.
I think that card is
That card is nutty.
the card is strong.
funny. Yeah,
Yeah,
hilarious.
especially in Black Green Fog, where you just make a ton of treasures, and then at any time you can just like
Gain 50.
gain a bajillion life if you really need to.
Yeah, that is pretty nutty.
Yeah, gain 50.
I'll call my people.
Cool.
These 2 red green lists. I remember looking at these at work.
Yeah, so I was looking at these. One of them has a full set of 4 Thermokarst in the board to be able to swap into kind of the Ponza
Oh, that's
plan,
cool. Yeah.
which I think is very neat.
The second one down.
Yeah, from
Yep.
Francesco here.
And so
Yeah.
that one's also playing more of the Cascade cards. So it's on 2 Annoyed Altasaur, 4 boarding parties. So
Yep.
that's interesting. They're on the 4 Annoyed over, or 2 Annoyed over the playset of boarding parties. So
Yeah, they are playing the Cascade creatures. They're also playing 3 copies of Saga Wildling, which is the green dragon from Dragonstorm that has the Omen spell for a single green to search for a basic land, and then you get to shuffle it back in.
I feel like I'd miss my Generous Ints and Oliphants because casting those are so powerful. Like the Wilding is still nice. Like it is 3 damage in the air, but just like slamming a Oliphant, just like this is so much. damage coming through.
Imagine like having to rely, like the hands with the red green deck where like you have limited lands and you're relying on this Wildling to fire off, and you just get spell pierced. That would suck.
Yeah. This, I believe, both lists are on a playset
It does.
of Jewel
It does.
Thief and
yes,
Can
they are
I
on
can I
Jewel
come to
Thief
the defense
and Chris.
of the Wildling?
Yeah.
It does beat Quirk Clan.
Yeah, doesn't
fair.
that a Crooklyn?
Yeah. I mean, I feel like if you get your whole board gets Karkland, you're just left your Wildling, you're still not in a great spot.
Nope, but it gives you at least something.
Yeah.
So I will give it that benefit because I guarantee that's probably about the only reason it's there.
Both decks are on a playset of Eldrazi Repurposers and Jewel Thieves. I like this deck. Has the 2 Meet Taverns and the Leave a Stampede. Again, this is Francesco Zabella's list here that we were talking about right now with the 4 Thermocast sideboard.
Yeah, I think the Saga Wildlings are there because with the extra Cascade spells, it's just a 1 mana setup card that then you also don't hate cascading into.
That is true.
Because cascading into Utopia Sprawl like feels awful.
So bad.
Yeah, and maybe that's why they're choosing the. I guess it doesn't matter because you can cascade in either of them with either way. I get that. No, that does make sense if they're playing 4 boarding parties because they're playing the Sagu Wildlings. Because if you're playing like the Oliphants, you could only cascade into them with the Annoyed Altasaur, so you're more likely to hit your Utopia Sprawls, your Wild Groves, your Arbor Elves, the stuff you really don't want late game.
Exactly.
So that is very interesting. I like
Gives
that.
you a little bit more. In the
Very
numbers
good
game.
point, Thomas. Very good. Yeah, just kind of like bog standard sideboard looking stuff.
Yeah.
Too. I'm not gonna get into 2 woods about that.
I'm gonna talk about this Mardu list.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, this Mardu list is sick.
So
Oh, okay.
the only thing
Oh, it's a Cleansing Wildfire. It's a Cleansing Wildfire Black Mage's Rod deck.
I wanted to rewind about the other deck. The difference of the
What do
other
you
deck.
want? What do you want to talk about?
The other red green deck. The only difference was they're on 1 Oliphant, 1 Generous, and 4 Bannerhide Cruciates.
Yep.
so the super aggressive version.
Yep, with the Ramfur and stuff. So they are quite different. You should take it. And 4 Nyxborn Hydras because they're not playing any of the Cascaders.
Yeah.
So
They're going
are,
big. Going big.
Yeah, quite different decks. Sorry.
Yeah, no, this Mardu deck is sweet. Well, again, my only issue with this like style of deck is it's just the mana is just so atrocious.
Why do you think that is? Why is this mana bad and Gen Wildfire's mana is not bad?
You're trying to cast 2 drops that pick up permanents that like you sometimes don't have the permanents for. It feels awkward.
Feels like there's more of a setup with this.
There's more of there's more things going on. Like this is a deck that wants to move around its cardboard way the hell more than Jund does, and that is better because it just goes. The game is going to go naturally longer with the Jund deck because you're not playing like Lightning Bolts and Galvanic Blast like you are with this deck. But this deck's mana is just hideous. It's not like. Not like, trying to poo-poo on the person who played the deck. Obviously, they did very well.
Yeah.
So that's my only issue
and
with
this is a deck of an archetype we are big fans of. Too.
So you and I both particularly are one we do share. That's my only issue with it. Otherwise, the suite of cards that it gets to play are some of my favorite cards.
They're
period.
Very, very, very powerful suited cards. Yeah, the only white cards in the deck are 4 Glenhawks and 4 Core Skyfishes. Everything else is black and red.
Turns out
So that's all you need.
That package of cards is still good.
Yeah.
It's very good. Yeah, you're picking up experimental synthesizers, Ichor Wellsprings. Wait, no, there is no Ichor Wellspring. There's no Ichor Wellspring in this
Nope,
list?
it's just 4 Limbus.
Wow, that's
you're
a
on the black.
choice.
You're on black.
I think
Mages
that
instead.
makes sense if you're only on 2 draw 2 effects.
Okay,
Because you're not really sacking a ton of artifacts, so
Yeah.
I'd rather pick up a Limbus than an
Yeah,
Ichor Wellspring.
if you're gonna pick up and replay rather than trying to sacrifice them for the value, yeah, that's a good point.
Having the 2 like big creatures in the deck too is nice because it just gives you like, you'll know, like, look at the sideboard, just notice like a couple like 2s here where like those just can nicely swap for each other.
Yeah.
Like to a couple Thraben Charm or a couple Tithing Blade, or there's just some small things like that. That's nice. That is nice.
Yeah, these 2 creatures that James is referring to is an Okiba Gang Shinobi and a Thorn of the Black Rose in the main.
Shinobi can just be a blowout,
Dude,
too.
Shinobi is insane.
That is a card I do not want to see if I'm playing Fog.
I would imagine so.
Yeah, it's just, nope. Someone showed me they brought in 2 against me, and they were not in their hands. I'm like, well, that's good for me.
Yeah, no, but I can say otherwise this deck is really sweet. This also is not playing like it's cut down on like we've moved away from the world of like Thraben Inspector draw 2s effects to more of like everything's on the table than it used to be. We just only have like there's only 2 single copies of, or 2 copies of Fanatical offering as far as your like draw 2
It's
package.
just so hard to fit everything.
I know. Like I said, there's like so many cards you want to play.
It's like if you're moving towards this Wildfire variation and this Black Mage's Rod, it's like, well, do I have room for 7 inspectors? Do I have room for 4 inspectors?
Oh, I know. The inspectors are probably just not what you need. It's just not what this deck is looking to do.
I feel like this deck is in a little weird push and pull between being the aggressor and going long. Because, like, yes, this deck can go long, but I think John Wildfires might still outbeat you in that long game.
Oh, it's going to.
And
This is what if this deck wanted to have that possibility, you have to start playing cards like Blood Fountain,
yeah,
which this deck does not.
yeah, that makes sense.
So
And they just have like more draw 2 effects than you, but
I guess that just means you can just kind of tune your stuff a little bit more if you want to. I guess if you want to beat the Jund deck.
But then it's like the same thing with the aggro thing. I feel like if you play, there's a bunch of High Tide, and I feel like High Tide can still outpace you there.
Yeah, I agree.
Because you're not the most aggressive deck. You have aggressive starts. Don't get me wrong.
You do.
Like,
you do.
can
And they
always
have
aggro
a good side. They have a good sideboard for Tide too.
Yeah, you can always aggro out your refurbished familiars and your Gaunt Hawks and
Yeah, that's the
go
idea.
that route. But
Yeah, you don't see Thraben Inspector in these so much because having Glint Hawk and Core Skyfisher, you really want to pick up the artifacts and not the creature. Whereas in like White Weenie, you're only playing with the Core Skyfisher, so picking up your Thraben Inspectors is a little bit more
Also,
on the menu.
having a more diverse set of pips also makes the Wildfire a little bit better too.
anything outside top 8 you want to look at?
Yeah, the Dredge deck actually.
It's Dredge deck.
Mono Red Dredge in 9th place here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so this is Natalino Feshti. So they are the progenitor of this Mono Red list, from what I understand. And their most recent tech, it looks like they're adding a pile of Fiery Tempers into the main as well as 2 copies of Bramble Worm in the sideboard.
That's a heater.
Which is very good. It's 6 and a green for a recently downshifted 7/6 with Reach and Trample. When it enters the battlefield, you gain 5 life, and for 2 and a green, you can exile it from your graveyard to gain 5 life. So whether or not you just like end up dread returning this as just like against the red decks or a red mirror or pseudo mirror where you just want to survive because you're like dudes on the ground. You're eventually going to get there. Yeah, you're eventually going to get there. So why not just like slam a Bramble Worm, gain 5, just start attacking for huge chunks of damage.
No, Red has a hard time of beating that. So that's pretty cool.
It takes 2 spells minimum to deal with it.
Yeah, I think it's huge.
This Jund deck here in 10th place. They are on.
What did James want to say about the Dredge deck?
Oh, nothing other than just highlighting it as a cool deck.
Oh, okay.
That it's here.
Okay, cool.
That's about it.
Okay, go ahead, Cameron. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. They're on 2 Card Clan Shamans main board. One side, 0 Toxin Analysis in the 75.
It's interesting.
yeah.
Such
The
an interesting shift.
Main board, 2 Pulse Maraskas, 2 Duress too, which I thought was pretty interesting there. Just give you game against some of the combo decks with your 2 Duresses and out, or if they're not like. It's never Duress can only be so bad. I feel like it's,
Duress has got such a high hit rate in this format. Like it's extremely high.
Yeah.
Like it's more high than most formats.
like think of every deck like you have a nice hit. And they're like you can get a counter spell out of.
I think like the one deck you like. There's like 2 decks that you just kind of like the Duresses look a little sad maybe, and it's not even that bad. It's like White Weenie. Like it's kind of there,
Yeah.
and then you don't really want to Duress your Madness opponent necessarily.
I don't think it's terrible.
I'm not saying it's
I like
bad.
duressing
I'm not
them.
saying it's bad.
That was something I wanted to talk to you about, actually. I don't know how you feel about duressing your board against Madness.
I don't want to be duressed against. If I'm playing Madness,
You don't want to be duress,
yeah,
right?
I think
so. Then
duress
should
is
you
good.
play duress to get their duress?
I don't think. I
Because
think
the only way you lose
I
is
think,
weather the storm, right?
Well, I think you could hit there, but no, because I've beaten. Like I've talked about that game of Derek where he gained 40 something life and I won that game.
Sure.
But I think the duress against them is if you have some pressure and you're able to take their draw too. So maybe in the mirror where I just want to be up cards against you, I think duressing your Madness opponents
Draw twos?
yeah, is really good.
Okay. In the mirror specifically.
Yeah, because I'm trying to think of a black deck specifically that threads that line of putting pressure down and also trying to keep you off there. Because I feel like against John Wildfire, they don't have like you'll end up giving the Madness player time, but that's okay because you want time to define your weather storms.
Right.
So like you're not trying to bury them under card advantage necessarily.
Right.
Like,
I'm just thinking of the deck that wants to hold up weather the storm if it's worth being proactive about duresses. Because like in a Garden's Mirror I played recently, I brought in my duress, which I thought was like risky because it could potentially just take a card that might have ended up not being super relevant, and then I just like traded 1 for 1 in a deck in a matchup that's all about 2 for 1s. But I took the duress specifically to fight blood fountains.
okay.
Because
yeah,
I
like that.
didn't want to have him get a blood fountain into play before I could deal with it. And so like that was my specific thought. So that was kind of my thought of whether it's worth you bringing in duress as fog to protect your weather the storms from your Madness opponent's duress.
Oh, as fog.
Yeah. I've been saying this as fog the whole time.
I took it as Madness this entire
No.
time. Jesus Christ. I cut duress out of fog because I'm not bringing in duress against anybody that I'm not playing last rites against. So I'd rather just
last
have,
rites is just more impactful.
Yes.
Against the decks you really need those effects.
So I'd
against.
rather just have another copy of last rites, which is around that 2 range.
Sure.
So because I want to against like walls or high tide or other green or whatever combo deck I want my last rites. So I would not bring in duress against
No.
my Madness opponent if I'm on fog.
Sure.
Yeah, no, because
Okay.
they can try to duress me. I'll like cast a draw 2, maybe cast another spell, then cast the weather storm.
Cool.
Like
And it'll be fine.
yeah.
You got campfires, it's fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was just
Sorry
curious.
for totally just misinterpreting your question.
No,
at all.
you're totally fine. It's definitely not the first time it's ever happened.
No, we yeah, to any
That's
of us.
half of our content.
Yeah, it's just us mishearing each other and arguing about what we're not talking about. We love doing that.
Do you have anything else you want to mention there before I jump over to Scora's list?
Oh, not in that deck specifically. Nope.
No. So Scora played Mono Blue Fairies. He's been absolutely crushing it online. You can check out his Patreon and all the information there if you're interested in picking up the deck. He has been really big on these Harrier Strixes, and I got to play against them in multiple matches in Indy, and the Harrier Strix was in fact very, very strong. It's a single blue for a bird, which does kind of also play with the creature, non-creature, or human, non-human for of one mind as well. It gives you some other non-humans.
Kind of like
Um,
a fairy is a bird, but not all birds are fairies.
I'm going to let that one sit with you and
Okay.
you alone.
All right.
Yeah.
the
Harrier,
audience.
no, they didn't hear it. And Harrier Strix is single blue for a 1/1 bird. It's got flying. It has an activated ability for 2 and a blue. You can draw a card and discard a card, which I think is also super sick to go in the late game. But the thing that I think is immediately really powerful about it is that it has, when it enters, you get to tap target permanent, which you can also kind of stifle your opponent's mana if you really want to against specific.
You can force stuff through.
Yeah,
It's really
basically,
nice.
yeah, through like a counter spell. If they're holding up exactly 2 mana, then like do that and then do another thing. Like you're either going to counter the Harrier Strix or
Or you just like,
or nothing.
Or they're
or
gonna
you just
float
move,
away.
or you just move phases.
Yeah, exactly. Just like moving on. But it was really good at tapping down stuff like Writhing Chrysalis in the moment.
Oh, yeah.
A Delver that I had set back to block that had flipped.
Being
it was
able to
really
pick,
good.
being able to pick it up off a ninja is really good.
Yeah,
too.
it gives you another really good threat, and Skura's gone down to one Snare Master sprite, which is the fairy that can basically has kicker to tap something down, give it a stun counter. And this is kind of a little, it's just more efficient. You're just already
And it
paying
does-
for the effect on the body. It might not be temporary, but a deck like this that operates as efficiently and quickly as fairies, when you're operating at like at the maximum efficiency that it can.
3 mana is a lot.
Yeah, 3 mana is a lot for
And-
that, and you just tap, done, can get through the attack, deal with whatever's coming next the next turn. Like,
I think
it's really
part of that
efficient.
too is like the rise in popularity and how well mono blue terror's been doing, because like that Snare Blaster sprite doesn't cost 3 anymore against a terror.
Right, that's
It costs
5.
Yeah, like maybe you're trying to get the Delver to push through damage, but if you're racing and you really like they have like 2 terrors down or something, and you just really need to like tap one of those down. Or
Yeah,
put
because I've
stun counter on
stonewalled
it.
a bunch of ninjas with terrors for like so many matches.
Yeah.
But there was a game where they tapped the 5/5 and got in for a couple hit, drew a couple cards, and I was like, man, that was rough.
Yeah, in a spot. Maybe
hard
they
to come
could've
back.
Paid 5 for that effect instead.
Right.
Or be able to pay 3 for it against a
Right,
terror
exactly,
and hold up a
yeah.
spellstutter sprite.
Yeah,
So,
exactly. Yeah, like those games do go long in that specific matchup, or they certainly can. So you both have a ton of mana available. So the ward is a lot easier to deal with at that point. Also has 3 dispels, not messing around with spell pierce. We've got 1 bind the monster in the main and the other 3 in the board. That's kind of just people have been messing around with unable to scream or messing around with a couple of other options. Bind the monster I think is proving to be the best of the bunch. Just keep the thing tapped down to keep it out of the way. We got 1 dispel, 1 annul. Hanging out on the sideboard too. Just a really good suite of options. Just I love the Pauper sideboard, the blue sideboard of just all 1 mana spells. It feels clean.
We do love a clean list.
We do.
I like the steel sabotages are nice here too.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially if you expect, that's a good call out for Jund Wildfires of just like that counters wildfires and temporarily
It counters
stone rains
wildfires.
them.
It counters blood fountains. It counters all sorts of goodness.
Yeah.
The cantrip rocks that they want to sacrifice.
Someone,
Nope, you
someone
get to do
in
any of
India
that.
was telling me about that they really liked the steel sabotages there against
Yeah.
Stone
It's
also-
Wildfires over
yeah.
the annuls.
It's
Yeah.
also really nice in a room if you expect like deck like the Ultratron deck to pick up, which I
Yeah.
would not be. I would suspect that it probably does pick up a little bit. Like finding cleaner versions of Tron is like a thing people love to do.
Yeah.
So if that's a deck that pops up, this is also a great option for that. Turns out the card is good.
So these 2 high tide lists,
Do we have to?
or
I'm
not
just
high
kidding.
tide, sorry, familiars.
Oh, and 15th and 16th.
Yes. One of them is
we'll
playing.
skip the high tide list.
Yeah, that's
Thanks.
one of them is playing 2 high tides. That would be Francesco is on the 2 high tides.
Ooh.
Why is that?
Never mind. We're looking at
It
high
makes
tide.
sure go off turn a little bit more efficient.
Yeah, and just because this deck still has the infinite mana combo, it still has all the ways to make Murmuring Mystic, and you're just
It just ups your opportunities of Azorius. Like it makes more Azorius Chanceries. That's literally all it is for.
oh fair. I see what you mean.
That's it.
Yeah, interesting.
Just having extra copies of it that are not come and play tap lands.
I don't see anything too crazy about this deck other than the 2 high tides. Like it's
Works.
still kind of up to the same shenanigans.
It's really cool with the Glacial Floodplain specifically. You can tap it for a white and then add a blue
And get a blue. Yep.
because you've tapped an island.
Dual lands.
I love what pretty cool is in Pauper.
That is pretty cool. It's the little things.
Your
There is
card
a
also does
James.
Azorius Chancery.
Yeah, but this means you get to have Azorius Chancery on a spell. How does that feel?
Well, you can flicker. You can ghostly flicker your. I guess you can ghostly flicker your Azorius Chancery.
That doesn't seem good.
But you can ghostly flicker your. Don't do that to your Glacial Floodplain either.
It's also going to play tap.
I just like the Hippo scale of how good something is in Pauper. It's pretty good. That's real good. That's insane. It's a very good scale.
That's funny.
That's just pretty good.
I guess the ghostly flickering your lands with the high tides make it a lot better.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, probably.
I think it just makes your deck easier to win.
That's like
easier
build your own arcane. It's build your own psychic puppetry. This goes to the flicker.
Well, it's kind of like
I would feel
build your own Sunscape
I would feel
familiar,
so much better losing to this because they use this thing called the combat step.
Do they?
Oh, really?
They certainly do have ways to kill you.
Yeah.
You just molder for you to death.
It's just crazy how like the deck is just still up to the same thing. I guess that's the point. It's called
it's
Right.
like,
called familiars. That's like Ponza is still the Ponza stuff.
yeah. I mean,
Why?
familiars has existed forever.
Yeah.
Just forever.
Yeah, it's crazy how Coggates is still up to the same.
Well,
except Basilisk Gate.
It's like except FAMS is so much older.
Yeah.
Like FAMS has been around forever.
Fiam.
Muldrifter plus Sunscape Familiar been a popular combination for a long time.
Both copies. I didn't even check. Yeah, both copies. Nope. Yeah, both copies are on the Stonehorn Dignitarian sideboard, so you can bring that in. And if your opponent cares about combat, you can lock them out of the combat phase for the rest of the game, which is pretty funny.
Yeah, I'm way more. I think Familiars is a way more interesting deck.
No,
Interesting is the word I'm going to use.
Then
because it has a backup plan. Like you get to do the disgusting like you can just go infinite like really quickly with the High Tide plan, or you can also just play like the really grindy like mid range plan with like Muldrifters and nonsense.
This deck
That's
and Jeskai
really cool.
Ephemerate are extremely similar.
I agree.
Yeah. This just has like the combo finish.
I think this is likely just a better. If you're going to play Ephemerate, like this is the deck you should do it with.
How do you spell it? How do you say that? Igor? Is that how you say it?
Igor?
Sorry, there's an I there. I'm an American. Unfortunately. Igor's.
Feel ya.
Yeah.
I do like the 1 circle protection blue, so if they're playing against terrors. Yeah.
It's also good against Fae.
Yeah.
You just stop them from ninjaing you to death.
That is true. That is pretty good.
You just like no cards for you.
Yeah, so I like what they're.
Like they have to have a null or they just like cannot beat that card basically.
Yeah, especially it's weird against the mono blue decks they're playing it. If they don't counter it, they're pretty weak.
They're pretty just
it.
dead.
Yeah, weird mono blue weak against enchantment they didn't have a counter spell. Newsflash, y'all are welcome.
Who knew?
Anything else y'all want to go over this tournament? Like over any what's the word?
Vibes?
I don't know any vibes about this thing. I wasn't there. Any like overarching themes we see out of this? Like no Grixis Affinity in the top 16.
No madness.
Oh, no madness of a top 16 either. I saw a tweet that Spy got its own little wedge of the pie chart. I didn't see the pie chart. I saw a tweet about the pie chart.
Yep.
But Spy got its own little wedge out of the pie chart, but Grixis Affinity was stuck in other.
Wow.
Because the deck is just not good.
Not anymore.
It's just not good enough. Like, play Jund.
Man.
Like, if you're going to do that's the thing you want to do.
And that's especially been the consensus from the Italian players of two of those. This is just Jund Affinity.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Like
a lot of folks over there just are considering this what Affinity is now.
That makes sense with like this being in Italy, and then the Italy players are just crazy for this Jund deck because they're the ones who made it too.
Yeah.
So
yeah, unless you're exactly Luffy. Just don't play. There's almost zero reason to play.
Unless you enjoy it too.
I guess if you're just like a big vibe.
Nah.
I guess if you want to like really vibe hard, play Affinity. I think there's just so many cards that people have like developed over the years that they just are going to continuously play because people eventually, you'll attest to this. People eventually learned that if you pack your cards for Affinity, it will go away.
Yep.
So
The old modern heuristic. If you pack your Affinity, it'll go away. But as soon as you do not, you will lose to it.
And I think that Affinity especially gets to feel, or I guess Affinity has to deal with the fact that Cleansing Wildfire is the core of the quote best deck in the room, and also certainly the most popular deck in this tournament by far.
So why is
and so like
Jund taking advantage of that card and not Grixis?
Well, I think it's good. It's a good question. I mean, I think Grixis has a better 4 to ramp into with Writhing Chrysalis and or the Pact Terror as well.
Or Jund does.
Jund, yes. I think Jund has a better option to ramp into the 4 early. And I mean,
you get better sideboard options. You get better cards in your main deck. There's a lot of things that you get that are just better.
Perhaps with green over blue, but I guess if there was a world where you wanted to have counter spells instead, but I mean, you lose Chrysalis without green. That's a big.
That's a huge.
big
That's a reason to
part of
play. That's
being
part of the
Jund.
reason to play the deck.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's close. I mean, no, because that's why it's like this is just kind of what Jund Affinity would be if Grixis Affinity were just Jund. I think it would just kind of be like this Wildfires list. I think that's kind of what folks have been alluding to. I mean, unless you really want counterspells for whatever reason, I think the deck just has all the tools to deal with
Pretty basically
what you
everything.
need to deal with.
Yeah, that is interesting. I think you might be a little bit more low to the ground in your curve too, with like your mirror enforcers. So
The problem is the Mirror Enforcer just like lines up so poorly again.
yeah, but
does
I'm speaking to
nowadays.
the fact of why Grixis, like why Jund plays Cleansing Wildfire.
Oh,
Grixis
yeah.
doesn't. Yeah. I think your actual affinity cards, I think you're a lot lower to the ground.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that's just
That's a good reason why.
yeah, and also you get to play more untapped artifact lands in Affinity than you do in Jund,
Yes.
which is part. I mean, you're not playing Wildfire; that's part of the concession. But you
Right.
have the more consistent Affinity.
You could be a lot more aggressive.
You do the more consistent Affinity draws. Quote a consistent Affinity draws.
It could also be a factor of you because you're already Grixis Affinity. You're already so delicate to or weak to the artifact hate that people are bringing, that making yourself even potentially more susceptible with Cleansing Wildfire might not be worth it, where it's just kind of like the one major point. Like, your artifact removal is going to be fine against Jund otherwise. Like, you could potentially cut down on the number of artifacts they have in play for their Krark-Clan Shaman turn. You can get a Refurbished Familiar out of the way, or stop a Nile Spellbomb, like get a Nile Spellbomb off the table before your graveyard is juicy enough to really get a good crack out of it. Like, there are things you can do, but dealing with bouncing or tucking or exiling the tapped artifact land with the Cleansing Wildfire on the stack, that's really the most blowout potential you can get against Jund Wildfires, whereas against Grixis Affinity, because every lane's an artifact, everything's going to be an artifact, like they're not relying on something like Writhing Chrysalis to take some of that heat away. I think it just could potentially also make it more susceptible to the hate.
Deck's not interested in playing basic lands. It's just playing all the...
Yeah, it's all
Mirrored
artifact
lands,
lands.
yeah.
But, like-
and I agree with James. The 4/4, like Mirror Enforcer, really cool card, really great when there's
Now,
a bunch of them really fast.
I was gonna
but-
say that's like the if you want a more aggressive leaning deck, or like a mid range deck like that, yeah, then Grixis is gonna be better.
Like Grixis definitely has the potential to kill you a lot faster.
right.
Also has the more potential to do a turn to
Familiar.
familiar.
Mhm.
Way more
Yep.
opportunity to do that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's-
So if you really want to get, I just again what you make up for in your matchup spread and what you gain in like colors is huge. It's just too much.
And it's really hard to justify Mirror Enforcer, even if it's free, in a world of Writhing Chrysalis and Tolarian Terror.
Also going up now,
Oh,
and
yeah.
especially if you really, really, really wanted to go hard, like they're all now playing like the Pulse of Mirasis. It's like the game is going to go forever. Like I'm going to outdo your Blood Fountains at some point. Like
they got their own blood fountains.
well, I'm saying I'm going to outdo your Blood Fountains with my own Blood Fountains plus the Pulse.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
you're just gonna go further. That's
Yeah. I mean, both have the spell bombs too, main board. So
Yeah.
that's its own little game.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
It's a delicate balance to walk.
having like 2 blood fountains up and holding the activations, and that's a pain.
And that's also
played that game before.
But I think then also being able to play with the hidden information of Pulse, like they don't know that you have Pulse or whatever.
Yeah,
Which is
that's
pretty
nice
nice
too.
too,
Yeah, it's
yeah.
not on board.
It's not not on the table
Yeah,
ready to
no,
go.
that's true.
Nice. Hooray, Affinity.
Hooray, Affinity!
so long.
Hooray!
I mean, maybe
hooray.
we start shaving on some artifact hate in our boards, and maybe it starts to creep back up. Like the cycle kind of can like repeats
I'm
itself,
gonna-
but
I want
I don't
to.
know.
No,
I'm
there's
gonna-
a ton
I'm gonna
of
look
It's
at
gone
this-
for a while.
Another deck that we saw, and I'm gonna speak to it on the side of the removing artifact hate, was like we didn't see. There's no white weenie in that 16.
Sure.
Like I think if that were like, I'll take the Dustin approach of like he's completely cut his dust to dusts.
Yeah.
Just for more like targeted cards, which is probably really a good idea.
Just a wider spread.
Yeah, he's like
of the
very
metagame.
correct. He's like very obviously identified like what our local area looks like, and I'll be damned, he's perfect on for it. Nobody plays Affinity because they shouldn't for multiple reasons probably.
unless they like having fun with it.
Sure. I mean, he's the one person who like has played it and has fun with it.
Yeah.
I mean, I like it and have fun with it, but I just don't think it's like I'll just play Jund. I have to strike the balance of vibes plus playing a good deck.
Right.
So I have 2 questions.
I was going to finish my like.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry. So if you really wanted to like, if you wanted to like have that in between of like having your artifact hate and like not playing Dust to Dust, play Revoke Existence. It actually does other things.
Yeah.
So it's not just like shoehorned into. It does, like you say, it has applications and a ton more matchups than you actually think it does. Like it kills the like Utopia Sprawl effects out of the Jund or out of the red green deck. It kills the ninjas out of, or kills some of the ninjas out of the Fey deck. Like there's more of the. It's not just very linear cards. It's also like say boggles, so on and so forth. There's tons of options for it. So sorry, Cameron.
No, you're good. You're good. It was interesting from when the initial bans and unbans they did last of the Pauper format. Gavin talked about if this was going to be too much of a hit for red decks, because I do see, and this is the top 16, I haven't seen the top 32 or top 64, but there seems to be a lack of aggressive decks in the format. And it's kind of, there's not a big incentive to with when one of the most popular decks is Joan Wildfires, and that deck is trying to Clark Clan Shaman you in the hell. I mean,
yeah, and that's why I think the rally deck is really cool, and it fills that space. Like I think this will. The problem is I didn't think enough eyes were on the deck. I saw the deck like however long ago or what it was, and I was like, oh, this is like neat.
Yeah, but
just not enough people are like on board with it because it doesn't just. It is susceptible to the Clark Clan thing, but you also just have a set of Galv Blasts and lightning bolts. Like you can just dome people and kill them. So yeah. I think people are just too. I think people are probably too afraid of Clark Clan Shaman at some point. Like you just like can't play scared.
But
like,
I feel like the grindier stuff is just. I'd rather be in that camp than trying to kill my opponent right now in Pauper.
Especially over a long tournament.
Over a long tournament,
yeah.
Well, a long tournament, I think I'd rather be doing the killing quickly.
That's also a reasonable argument.
That's the, like, I want to save some amount of brain power here.
Right.
Instead of playing 50-minute Jund mirrors or whatever.
Yeah,
50-plus minute Jund mirrors.
But at the end of the day, like, when you're playing with all good Magic players, I don't think it's coming down to saving brain power. Like Cog Gates is
there is definitely a world of mental fatigue going into play here.
But sure, and it's not always playing the red deck does not always equate to shutting off your brain.
Well, I understand. I'm saying that it does allow you to have these very obvious like play patterns of I'm just going to dome you for however much on turn 2, and then I'm going to dome you for an additional however much on the following turn. Like the Burning Tree Rally line, that is just going to do that.
I don't buy the argument of losing win percentage points for playing a deck that's going to go long in a tournament. Because I'm
not arguing that it's not a good idea.
Okay.
That wasn't my argument.
Oh, okay. I thought you said that people were afraid to play it for that.
But some people might be. Some people might just enjoy playing aggressive decks. Some people don't want to sit there and play mid-range mirror hell all day.
Yeah. Well, you said at a long tournament you'd rather be to aggro.
Personally, yes, I would personally rather be in the more aggressive leaning camp than
to save brain power. And then I said I don't buy that argument. As a real I don't think you lose percentage points.
You don't think I lose percentage points by playing something that I think is going to take advantage of a longer tournament?
I think the general you. Like a good Magic player, I guess.
You're both missing each other.
I guess it can depend the person to person. But overall, I feel you are very much capable of playing a grindy deck.
I can play a grindy deck like all day. That's not. I mean, I think it also say it's room dependent. It's what you think you can get people with. Like this person, like the person who like top 80 with that like rally deck, they probably preyed on a lot of the room that's being in mid range hell by just what they're doing. Like, I think there's something to be said about that. So it's not just I'm not just saying all of it's not turning your brain off. No.
Yeah.
Again, like I say, there are the very obvious like bushwhacker lines that do the thing that you don't have to think really hard about that.
Yeah.
And it's really good.
I guess my initial point was I feel like there's a significant lack of aggro attack you down decks.
Oh, I agree.
Yeah.
And I was saying that's why I like this deck, because it does that thing, and it does it pretty well.
That makes sense. No, I get you. But again, like a couple weeks ago, we had the white weenie decks do really well, and they're still popping up in challenges. So, like, it's not like it's non-existent. This red deck by top forward's very aggressive, and we'll quite often see those in challenges.
And I mean, the red green deck's aggressive. It's pretty aggressive. It puts your opponent like to the test pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Like turn 2 Writhing Crystals is nothing to scoff at.
No.
It's very strong.
Oh, that's true. Which always pops out of these tournaments too, especially the Paupergeddon, is like the ban talk. People always like talking about what's gonna get banned next.
People already talking about that.
There's nothing here that was like had a dominant performance.
And I like that.
I guess the red green deck, if you want to look at it just based on purely on numbers, and it technically did very well with the few players that did day 2 with it, but.
And I hope this like hush ups a little bit, like the bridge. Like people were talking about like banning bridges and stuff, and
I don't understand that argument.
I don't.
I just don't.
Because
like
people,
I get
because
that
people
they're
don't want to play against the card
problematic,
Cleansing Wildfire. People hate that card because it enables mid-range game plans.
I think people hate losing against Jund.
Yeah, well, just in general, because it's not just like Jund. It's now, or like Jeskai, Ephemerate, or whatever other Mardu Synthesizer, or these like.
Maybe.
But I don't feel like people complain about Mardu Synth at all.
No, because that's like a cool thing that you can look and be like, whoa, you're doing a cool thing. When you just put all like the good cards together in a pile with like a way to take advantage of the mana engine, you're like, oh, that's just like, I just lost to Jund.
You know what I think it is? I think it's because Jund's really popular and good.
Yeah.
And if Mardu Synth is really popular and good,
well, no, this has also been an argument.
Changed to complaining about familiar again.
Yeah.
Well, no, this has been an argument for a while now. This is that people just don't like the bridges because they just do slow, dirtily things.
Yeah.
That's what they're there for.
There'll be another slow, dirtly thing.
Oh, I know. Oh, I'm wholly aware. That's why I think the bridges are fine.
Yeah.
Like if you really want to beat the bridges, you can beat the bridges. Like there's no shortage of cards to beat them.
Pick your poison.
Yeah, pick your poison.
A real banger.
Still sabotage.
I see what you did. Pick your
That's
poison.
so funny how we
I
just.
see what you did there.
It's so bad how we call that.
What's your poison, Cameron?
Dust. It's still funny.
Oh,
I see.
Yeah.
See what you did,
Yeah.
but
yeah,
that's why I laughed at it.
Any other thoughts on Paupergeddon?
Like I said, I like how clean
clean.
I like how healthy things look. That's really nice.
I'm excited to go back and
Formula
watch
looks
some coverage, and from what little I caught of coverage, looked great, sounded great. Y'all were doing a great job over there. Cool to have some members of the PFP on board.
Or even playing.
Yeah. I want to see how the aggro decks converted in a day 2 and see how many were in top 128. Because really, honestly, just congrats to top 8, top 16, top 128.
And beyond, like there's so many people.
Yeah, top 128 tournament size, it's still very impressive.
Yeah, you're still in the top 10% of the room.
Yeah,
still
very, very
pretty good.
So congrats to everyone there who did well.
Yeah.
And congrats if you made it there, I guess, in general.
Yeah. We have a couple quick shout outs from results. We have a couple shout outs from a challenge result this weekend.
Yeah, I just wanted to talk. I don't think we're going to go through challenges, but shout out to Zach Babysoft in our Discord. My buddy from South Dakota, he top forward the Pauper challenge of Black Green Fog. He was the one I was talking about last week when him and I were like just talking about Fog before I played the tournament and stuff, because he's extremely good at Magic. And when we were having that conversation, I kind of mentioned this on the pod last week too, that Fog doesn't really play that many unique style effects. You're kind of playing genres of cards. These are my draw twos. These are my fogs. These are my crypt rats. And so there's like no need to constrain to a 60 card deck. And I think Zach said he just had like a dream of just like playing like a big deck, and he just kind of like woke up and made the 69 card deck because he's
incredible,
a madman. And like he had a geometric calculator out the whole entire time, so like his percentages were the same, because one big thing we're talking about with this deck is we hate drawing Stream of Thought. Stream of Thought is the worst card in your deck, but sometimes you need it. Like, it's necessary.
So you just made it 9 cards less likely to draw the Stream of Thought.
He was playing 63 cards before. I was playing 61 cards before.
Sure.
So close enough.
But he just made it a bunch more cards less likely.
But he popped up the 4 Crypt Rats. He bumped up the land counts. He's playing 2 Toxin Analysis.
Great.
Yeah, he's playing like all 12 draw 2 effects, I think. So he's very smart thinking about Magic player. If that makes sense.
He's very locked in on.
No,
on
he's a
this.
smart cookie, and he's very much willing to like push norms.
Do you remember when it was a GP? I want to say 2015, maybe 2016. Ben Rubin. Do you remember Ben Rubin winning with like a 64 card main deck in the standard GP?
Yeah.
And the world lost their mind.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But Ben Rubin is Ben Rubin, and Ben Rubin can get away with it,
Right.
Because he's just insane.
Yeah,
Whenever
it's just
he
like,
decides to randomly pick up cardboard, is incredibly insane.
Yeah.
So I mean, if people should be less tied to heuristics.
No, I agree, and then that's how you get
This is
change in a format.
Yeah, I mean, 61 card like 61 card Amulet Titan in Modern, like it was very much a meme that was popularized.
woo.
Yeah,
Yeah.
At this point, it's like, I don't know, that deck's
whatever.
yeah.
That deck is too powerful.
So shout out Zach for that.
It has been for
Sick
10 years.
Yeah, shout out to Zach.
Yeah, Zach, good job.
Good result, Baby Soft.
Yep. You'll see
hell
him
yeah.
at the
Yeah, Common Ground Cup. Is
It's
he gonna
coming
play
out.
Fog?
Probably.
Probably. I hope so.
I would assume so.
I hope so.
Yeah. Hopefully 69
He'll
card fog
do
too.
well and maybe get him on camera.
Yeah. He lost to Luffy in top 8, or not in Swiss, and then he beat him the first round of
sick.
top 8. So
Sick.
he's had
Get
a
the
few,
revenge.
Yeah, he's had a few run-ins with them, which is pretty funny.
Nice.
Yeah, well, I think at this point, Luffy is just handicapping himself. Probably.
By playing Grixis.
Just
No, Luffy can play Grixis. Everyone else needs to find a different thing to do.
okay. That's why I said if just Luffy played something else and then just got good with something else. It seemed like a good Magic player. I don't know.
Yeah,
It
that's
seemed
true.
like top 8 a challenge of every format every weekend. It feels like.
I mean, if the deck was a steaming pile of crap, I don't think he'd still be top 8.
No, I agree. Oh, I'm not saying I'm not saying that at no point you should ever play the deck.
Yeah.
Yes, obviously Luffy's got the I've played this deck so many times that I can just blindly make decisions, and it's probably fine.
That's true. Well, we hope you won't make a blind decision if you choose a Pauper deck to play at the Common Ground Cup.
No, don't make a blind decision. Make a good decision.
Yeah, make a good decision. Unless your friends are just bringing a whole bag of decks and you're like, we're all just going to reach in and pull one out and play. Then
pretty
that's
cool.
fun too.
That would be sweet.
Well,
And just like top 8 from there, that'd be pretty sick.
I won't disencourage that behavior. It's pretty funny.
But no, August 2nd, down here in Columbia, Tennessee, at game night, it's going to be a lot of fun. You can register now. Signups are live. And if you're coming in from out of town, you need somewhere to stay, we've got a hotel block rate of $69 a night at the Courtyard in Brentwood.
Nice.
You can find that link there. That sale price is only available to the 16th. So if you're looking to do that, or you have friends who are looking to come in for that, make sure y'all book it now.
Yeah,
book
you
it
gotta get
as
on
soon as
that.
possible.
Yeah.
Real quick shout outs. The weekend after the Common Ground Cup, August 9th, is the second Upstate New York Pauper Open. Details are in the description about that. And then also, mentioned it in the pre-roll last week, there's an event a little closer to Nashville in Murray, Kentucky at Enchanted Gaming Emporium, or Enchanted Games Emporium. They're running an event on August 16th. The first prize is an Alpha Red Elemental Blast, and it's $20 to play. So y'all get on that if you want to play some Pauper too. But remember the Common Ground Cup, August 2nd. We'd love to see you there.
Huzzah.
Sick. Yeah.
That's what I got.
Yeah, good.
Join the Discord.
Yeah.
Questions, comments, concerns.
Give us them 5 stars.
Yeah. There's an
On
email
all
in the
the things.
description.
Yeah,
Just
if you
join
made it
Discord.
this far anyway.
Yeah. That's all I got.
Cool.
Oh, shout out Reese from Gaz and Comments for winning the
Oh,
challenge.
hell yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So
The Mono Red Madness.
mhm.
Hell yeah.
Good run.
Deck is sick. I gotta play that deck. Yeah.
All right.
Cool.
Bye, fam.
Thanks,
All right.
everyone.
Peace out, Girl Scouts.
I know, hello, we're done.
I get to fill my body with potatoes. Come. That's not how you pronounce potatoes.
Kind of.
Kind of, actually. Potatoes are pretty incredible.
Unplug me.